Basically, 2 days ago, I announced that we had hit
the Patreon funding goal
for the month of September. I said, so it's good. We're going to be doing this horror marathon coming up. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, I wanted to do a Halloween horror marathon, and now patrons will be nominating and voting on games and stuff. But the kind of what-if thing that I wanted to put on that is, unfortunately, it's not a guarantee, because with Patreon, the way it works is people can reduce their pledges at any time. So I know there were people who last month pledged because they wanted to see me play Banjo-Kazooie, which was last month's goal. And being that we're near the end of the month, and the pledges auto-charge on the first of the month for those who are, you know, renewed pledgees, people who keep a long-standing pledge rather than just a one-off pledge. A lot of people might have realized, oh, it's the end of the month, and, you know, I don't want to pledge as much as I did last month for Banjo, so I'm going to lower my pledge now. So, unfortunately, I knew what was going to happen, and it did happen. A bunch of people, I'd probably say about a dozen people or more, realized this, and they lowered their pledges on paytreon.com, okay? So, in reality, what ended up happening was we hit the funding goal and said, oh, that's it, we did it. And then a bunch of people said, well, we're not going to actually pledge what it said we were going to pledge, and they lowered their pledges, and then we went under the goal again. So, yesterday, I kind of had to tell everyone on Twitter about this, and I do want to say thank you, because over the past 24 hours, a good 6 or more people actually stepped up and pledged on Patreon. Some people were already pledges, and they just upped their pledges. A few people were first-time pledges, and they said, no, we really want to see this horror marathon happen. You know, I'm going to pledge. So they did. And because of that, we've hit the goal. Now, I just want to let you know something. There's pretty much no chance whatsoever that we're not going to hit the goal. We're in the clear. And the reason I say that is because Patreon's kind of weird and funky now. Now that I do the way that the pledges work is if you have a new pledge, it charges you up front. So that way it's not like a troll can go on there and say, oh, I'm going to pledge $100 to Phil and I'm a liar. And then I'll just, you know, when he goes to charge, it won't go through and ha ha ha, I screwed everything up, right? No, I changed it so that, you know, when you pledge, it charges you up front and it gets rid of the trolls. The problem is that it doesn't reflect properly on my Patreon page, right? So my Patreon page says the goal is $1,025. Let's say, for example, that you pledged 20 bucks. Oh, I pledged 20 bucks. But I don't want to pledge 20 bucks again when it renews. I just want to do 5 bucks a month. So if you pledge 20 bucks, it charges you 20, okay? And then it'll actually reflect that on the Patreon page. It'll add $20 to the total. But then if you said, well, but when it renews, I only want to do 5, then the Patreon page will subtract 15. Even though you already pledged 20, and it should count towards that goal like that on the page, it doesn't. If you lower the amount, it actually automatically lowers your amount on the page, which is stupid, because you already pledged. It should already count towards it. I mean, it does. In reality, it does, but it doesn't show it publicly. So, in reality, I actually did some math, and I figured out we're actually above the Patreon goal by a decent chunk. I think it's like maybe 30 bucks or something like that, that a bunch of people, you know, stepped up and pledged overnight, and we are above it. So, we're doing the Halloween marathon no matter what. Even if tonight, you know, 20 more people say, oh crap, I pledged $10 and I only want to pledge $5 or whatever, and they lower their pledges, I'm just going to do it because, like I said, I'm above what, you know, the goal was now, and, you know, I don't want to be dishonest or anything. I can't, you know, it sucks. I can't really, there's no way to fix it. Let's put it that way. There's no way for me. I've contacted Patreon about this, and I said, can we have the public number changed to actually reflect, you know, what people have pledged for the month? And basically they said no. That their whole business was set up to have that Patreon page number reflect the old method of pledges, and not the new way that I'm doing it. So, it sucks. There's nothing I can really do. It's just confusing. And I apologize. I wish I could even explain. It's hard for me to even explain it in a proper way here that makes sense and isn't confusing. But the bottom line is, we hit the goal. We're doing a Halloween marathon. I'm going to start looking for a Halloween costume. I already did a little bit of preliminary work on that, and I have a couple good ideas of things that I'm going to do. So thanks to all those who did pledge. Your pledges did not go, you know, they're not in vain. It's going to be, you know, a good one. It's going to be a fun event coming up at the end of, you know, October. On Halloween Day, actually, alright? I'm going to put a poll up on my Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP. And that poll is going to be to determine whether you want to see me play more Forza this weekend, or if you want to see me start a Dead Rising New Game Plus playthrough. And I think I'll probably use the poll as a way to get public opinion, because sadly I can't use YouTube views anymore. YouTube views are all screwed up. I'm not going to go too much into it. I really don't want to go into detail about this, because the bottom line is views don't matter to me anymore. They actually don't. You know, as long as people are watching the videos and I'm making ad revenue, that's all that matters. And it seems to me that YouTube is so screwed up. YouTube is claiming that this month of September, that I had less views than the month of July. right? Now, July was my slowest month ever. They're saying it was even slower, yet they're telling me I made more money. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I don't really care about it. But the problem is it makes me hard to judge whether or not you guys and gals are enjoying what I'm doing. Because I used to have views as the guideline to tell if you're liking what I'm putting out there or not. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. So I think what I'm going to do is a Twitter poll tonight. On Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, you'll be able to vote. Without further ado, let's continue with Forza Horizon 3. I want to say thanks to those who were here live. I have no idea why there's only 260 people when we had over 600 on Wednesday, but I can't make people show up for the stream, so I'll just start it. And maybe people will actually join when I start playing. Who knows?